Hi everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about our different types of angles and how to identify them when we have those parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, so remember that first one we're going to talk about is our corresponding angles. First, remembering that corresponding angles are congruent to each other. Second, when we look for corresponding angles, we are looking for the angle that is facing the same way around our intersections. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the intersection with angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you compare it to the intersection with the angles 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so first off, identifying, I have angle 1 would be corresponding to angle 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and make some connections here. So I'm going to make angle 1 and 5 green. So that is one set of corresponding angles. Another set of corresponding angles is if we look at 2, and let me go ahead and make angle 2 a different color. Angle 2 corresponds to angle 6. Okay. Moving along, when we look at angle 3, let's make angle 3 red. Angle 3 will correspond to angle 7, seeing how we have that bottom left corner around my intersection, how that corresponds. And then lastly, angle 4 must be corresponding then to angle 8. Okay. So those are all of our corresponding angles shown on this diagram. Again, 1 is corresponding with 5, 2 corresponds with 6, 3 corresponds with 7, and 4 corresponds with 8. The next set of angles that we're going to talk about is our same side interior angles. Okay, so when we're talking about interior, what we're really talking about are these angles that are inside of my parallel lines right here. So let's make sure that we are highlighting these angles inside my parallel lines. These are my interior angles, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When we're talking about same side interiors, then we must be talking about angles that are on the same side of my transversal. So the angles that are on the same side of my transversal are angles 3 and 5 right here, and then also angles 4 and 6. Those are the pairs. And same side interior angles actually are not congruent to each other, but are supplementary. So really we could say here that angle 3 plus angle 5 equals to 180 degrees. Similarly, since 4 and 6 are another pair of same side interior angles, angle 4 plus angle 6 are equal to 180 degrees. The next set of angles that we're going to talk about here is your alternate interior angles. So again, highlighting my interior angles, but now we're looking at alternates, meaning we're looking at opposite sides, alternating sides of our transversal. Okay, so we think about that as going diagonally or opposite side. Okay, so in this case, for my alternating interior angles, that's really my pairs 3 and 6, and then separately 4 and 5. Okay, alternating interior angles are congruent, which means angle 3 is equal to angle 6, and angle 4 is equal to angle 5 in measure. Now we're moving on to the same side exterior angles. Okay, so exterior means that we're going to be looking at all of the angles outside of my parallel lines. So let's go ahead and block off all of my angles that are interior so that we can just focus on my exterior angles. Same side exterior angles means, again, we are looking on the same side of my transversal. Therefore, my angles are 1 and 7, and then 2 and 8. Those are my same side exterior pairs that again are supplementary. So that means angle 1 plus angle 7 is going to equal 180 degrees. Similarly, angle 2 plus angle 8 will equal 180 degrees. Our last set of angles that we're going to pay attention to and look at today is your alternating exterior angles. So again, I've blocked off all of my interior angles so that we can just focus on the exterior angles. We are alternating, so we do have to go diagonal and opposite side of my transversal. So for alternating exterior angles, we have the pairs of 1 and 8, and then 2 and 7. Okay. Alternating exterior angles are congruent, so that means angle 1 is equal to angle 8, and angle 2 is equal to angle 7. In this video, I also want to revisit these last two theorems. The congruent supplement theorem was very new to us here, stating if two angles are supplements of the same angle or of congruent angles, then the angles are congruent. So we know if I have angle 1 and 2 being supplementary, meaning that they equal to 180 degrees, and angles 3 and 4 are also supplementary, and we know that angle 2 and angle 4 are congruent to each other, that means their supplement, angles 1 and 3, should also be equal to each other. And then also leaving you with the visual of what vertical angles look like. Remember, they only appear in this X formation directly across from each other. So angles 1 and 3 are vertical and congruent, and then angles 2 and 4 are vertical and congruent.